H1. The Aprilia Tuono V4 Factory. Origins, purpose, and why this thing is basically a bare-knuckle superbike. Alright, let's crack into this beast, because the strong Tuono V4 Factory ain't your everyday naked bike. This thing didn't just come from somewhere. It was born out of chaos, raised in the track paddock, and then let loose on the streets with zero supervision. If motorcycles had a problem child, the Tuono Factory would be the one getting sent home from school for doing wheelies in the parking lot. H2. Strong. Where the Tuono comes from. The superbike with the clothes ripped off. So check this out. The Tuono isn't some random upright bike Aprilia whipped together for commuters. Nah. The Tuono exists because Aprilia took their full-blown superbike, the RS-V4, stared at it for a second, and said, "What if we took all this insanity and made it street legal, but only barely?" Then they ripped off the fairings, tweaked the ergonomics so you're not folded like a lawn chair, left the monstrous V4 engine exactly where it was, and called it a day. Boom! The Tuono V4 was born. It's basically an RS V4 that got kicked out of race school for fighting. A hyper-naked, a street fighter, a superbike that decided it didn't feel like wearing a full outfit anymore. And the factory version? That's Aprilia saying, "We don't like half-assing things. You want the best? Cool. Here's everything." The factory trim is the no compromises, top-shelf components only. Hope you like Öhlins and Brembo model. Version. Oh. It's Aprilia, flexing on the entire naked bike segment. What it was built for. Spoiler. Not normal people. The Tuono V4 Factory was created for exactly one type of rider. Someone who wants superbike performance, but refuses to deal with supersport discomfort. It's for the rider who wants RS-V4 power, RS-V4 chassis, RS-V4 electronics, RS-V4 brakes, RS-V4 insanity, but actually wants to see traffic lights without needing a chiropractor afterward. The mission of the Tuono V4 Factory is simple. Deliver 175 horsepower to the street in the most feral, chaotic, grin-inducing way possible, while still letting you ride home with feeling in your wrists. Is it practical? Not really. Is it sensible? Absolutely not. Is it the sickest thing you can ride without? Fairings. Yeah, pretty much. The heart of the monster, Aprilia's V4. Under the tank sits Aprilia's legendary 65-degree V4, one of the most iconic engines in modern motorcycling. It's got 1,077 cc, some years creeping toward 1,099 cc, around 175 horsepower, over 120 Newton-meters of torque, a redline that sounds like angry angels screaming opera. This engine is educational. It teaches you things about physics you didn't know. Crack the throttle and you instantly understand why journalists keep calling this thing the best engine in motorcycling. It doesn't just accelerate. It launches you hard, clean, smooth, terrifying, addictive. The torque curve is flatter than Kansas, and the power delivery is so perfect it feels like Aprilia bribed God himself to smooth it out. The chassis, because power alone isn't enough to kill you. Aprilia didn't slap this V4 into a random frame. They stuck it inside a twin-spar aluminum masterpiece straight from their superbike program. The geometry is adjustable, like fully adjustable. As in actual race team adjustable. Headstock angle, swing arm pivot, engine position. Yep, tweak them all if you want. They basically give you a race-spec Lego kit. The factory model also gets semi-active Öhlins suspension, 43mm Öhlins NIX forks, Öhlins TTX shock, smart EC electronics doing wizard-level damping magic. This bike reads the road like it has telepathy. Hit a bump? Suspension fixes it. Entering a fast sweeper? Suspension tightens up. Launching out of a corner? It holds you steady. It's like Aprilia hired God's personal chiropractor. H2. Brakes and tires. Wheels. Stopping power that feels illegal. Front brakes. 2 giant 330mm discs. Brembo Stylema radial monoblock calipers. Rear. Standard disc, but honestly, who cares? You'll barely use it. Wheels. Lightweight 17-inch alloys, wrapped in sport tires begging for track use. This setup doesn't just stop the bike, it rips time in half. Grab a handful of brake lever and your soul politely asks to exit your body. The electronics, because the engine would kill you otherwise. Aprilia's electronic suite is basically NASA DS'd down to fit inside a motorcycle. You get IMU-based cornering ABS, traction control, adjustable while riding, wheelie control, on-off depending on how reckless you feel, quick shifter, up and down, 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 down, pause, from, standing, cruise control, standing, from, TFT display with more options. This is electronics for domination. The bike knows when you're about to do something stupid and politely prevents your immediate death. Pause. Unless you're in full, let me suffer mode. Then it lets you make your own decisions. From, period. H2. What it feels like to ride the factory. Imagine taking a wild animal, shaving it, teaching it algebra, and then putting it on the street with a driver's license. That's the Tuono V4 factory. It's raw, but refined. Insane, but precise. Aggressive, but controllable. On the street, upright enough to survive rush hour. Punchy enough to scare everyone at a green light. Agile, like a middleweight. Powerful, like a leader bike. On the track, it will embarrass full-fairing superbikes. It'll scream through corners like a demon. It'll remind you that fear is real and healthy. This bike wants to go fast. It wants to lean. It wants to misbehave. It wants you to misbehave. Who this bike is actually for? Let's be honest. Not everyone should own a Tuono V4 factory. It's perfect for riders who want strong superbike performance, but not superbike pain. Want premium everything. Öhlins, Brembo, electronics, frame. Ride aggressively on weekends. Occasionally hit the track. Want a naked whoop-ass machine without babysitting. Appreciate Italian over-engineering. Want the best V4 engine outside of MotoGP. It's not for and feel. You are not meant to engage in indulgent technical sport. Reasonable applications. Tailored to responding important. What the Tuono V4 factory really is. It's a weapon that refuses to behave. Bar a track monster disguised as a naked bike. A V4 thunderstorm on wheels. It's the closest thing to riding raw adrenaline on the street. If you want something sensible, buy a Honda. If you want something polite, buy a Triumph. If you want something fun but chill, buy a Yamaha. But if you want the most savage, hilarious, technologically advanced, naked superbike ever built. Something that screams, fights, devours corners, and blows your mind every single ride. Aprilia RSV4 Factory, the superbike that eats streets for breakfast. All right, let's get this straight. The RSV4 Factory is not some commuter bike for your mellow Sunday rides. This thing is a full-on, track-bred monster, wearing a license plate. It's like Aprilia took decades of MotoGP know-how, shoved it into a street-legal shell, and dared you to keep up. If motorcycles had an elite class, the RSV4 Factory would be the valedictorian who bench presses the entire school. H2, Origins, where the madness began. The RSV4 line is Aprilia's crown jewel. Think of it like this. Their engineers took the insanely powerful, razor-sharp RSV4 superbike, then said, block quote, "Hey, what if we made this beast usable on public roads without losing the soul of a race bike?" The RSV4 Factory. The factory trim? That's Aprilia flexing hard. It's the top-spec model with forged wheels, premium brakes, semi-active Öhlins suspension, and electronics that are basically witchcraft. If the standard RSV4 is a lion, the Factory is the lion wearing sunglasses, holding a flamethrower, and laughing at gravity. Every component is either race-derived or designed to trick you into thinking your ride is under control, until you open the throttle. Engine. The heart of the storm. Under the tank sits Aprilia's legendary 65-degree V4, a liquid-cooled DOHC beast. Specs: 1099 cc of fury, 220 horsepower, ready to rip at approximately 13,000 RPM. Approximately 125 Newton-meters of torque at approximately 10,800 RPM. Ride-by-wire throttle for precision control. This engine doesn't just accelerate, it throws you into another dimension. You twist the throttle, and the bike launches like it has no regard for inertia or your grip strength. And the torque curve? Smooth enough to keep you alive in traffic, yet violent enough to remind you that you are, in fact, riding a weapon. Chassis and suspension, razor-sharp handling. The RSV4 Factory's frame is an aluminium twin-spar masterpiece, welded and braced like it belongs on a racetrack. Every inch of geometry, headstock, swing arm pivot, engine placement is tuned for precise handling. The Factory gets Öhlins 43mm USD semi-active forks, Öhlins TTX rear shock, semi-active, smart EC 2.0 electronics controlling damping and preload. Basically, the bike reaves the road for you. Hit a bump, lean hard, power out of a corner. The suspension reacts instantly. It's like the bike has a brain that's 2 steps ahead of your adrenaline. Brakes and wheels, because stopping is optional. Front brakes, 330mm twin discs with Brembo radial monoblock calipers. Rear, a solid disc that's almost ornamental because honestly, you'll rarely use it fully. Forged aluminum wheels reduce unsprung mass so the bike feels lighter than it is. You lean, and it's sharp as a razor. You brake, and it bites like a wolf that knows kung fu. Electronics, modern magic. This isn't just horsepower. It's horsepower with a PhD in control. Aprilia slaps the RSV4 Factory with an IMU-based electronics suite that basically babysits your instincts. Traction control and wheelie control. Adjustable. Turn it off if you want to flirt with disaster. Cornering ABS. Brakes intelligently when leaned over. Launch control. for street drag demons or track jokers. Slide control and engine brake control keeps the bike glued when you attack a corner. Ride modes and customizable suspension setups. Quick shifter up and down. TFT dash with insane detail. This is next-level tech that makes 220 horsepower manageable. Sort of. You still need respect, because this is a V4 that laughs at soft inputs. Aerodynamics. Wings for humans. New for 2025. Twin-layer winglets inspired by MotoGP. They stick out under the windscreen and tail, keeping the front wheel down at high speed and helping cornering precision. You're basically riding a street-legal jet fighter with headlights. The aero doesn't just look sick, it works. Downforce at 180 miles per hour? Yep. Wheelie resistance? Yep. Stability at the edge? Double yep. Riding character. Pure, raw, controlled chaos. Riding the RSV4 Factory is like holding a tiger by the tail while it sprints across a canyon. You can ride it responsibly, if you're careful. But the second you crack the throttle, the bike lunges forward like a cheetah on Red Bull. Brakes bite like a rabid dog. Suspension reads the road like it's cheating. Electronics keep you alive, mostly. On the track, it's a laser-focused machine. On the street, it's still a monster. Just one that understands traffic lights exist. The ergonomics? Superbike aggressive. You're tucked in, but not flattened. You feel connected to every bit of the machine. Every millimeter of chassis flex, every bit of torque. And you love it. In brackets, we've got strengths. What makes RSV4 Factory legendary? 220 horsepower in a street-legal package. Race-derived chassis. Electronics to control insanity. Premium components. Öhlins, Brembo, forged wheels, light frame. Nothing cheap, nothing fake. Advanced electronics. Cornering ABS. Wheelie control. Slide control. Ride modes. Launch control. Makes a 220 horsepower monster rideable. Race-bred aero. Winglets that actually do something, not just flex ego. Street plus track versatility. You can ride it to work or abuse it at a track day. Or X trade-offs. Who should avoid it? Billin. This bike is not for the timid or unprepared. Ergonomics. Aggressive. Track-oriented. Can crush wrists and back on long commutes. SP. Fuel and maintenance. 17.9-liter tank. Thirsty. Premium fuel. High maintenance. SP. Skill required. You need throttle control, awareness, and experience. SP. Not a tourer. Hardly any wind protection. No luggage. Stiff ride. If you want a gentle daily ride, this isn't it. But if you want a street-legal missile that occasionally lets you pretend you're in MotoGP, then it's perfect. Who RSV4 Factory is for? You belong here if you chase adrenaline and track-ready performance. You respect electronics but like to push limits. You want premium engineering in a bare-knuckle, high-tech package. You can handle the aggressive posture and intense power. You dream about cornering at insane speeds without losing composure. Final word, why RSV4 Factory still rules. Even in 2025, with leader-class superbikes everywhere, the RSV4 Factory still stands out. Why? It combines raw V4 power, precision electronics, and track-derived hardware in a way few bikes do. 2025 updates aren't cosmetic. They improve aero, suspension, engine response, and rider control. It's a super bike for the street that never feels tamed. If you want motorcycles for adrenaline, skill, and pure performance joy. The RSV4 Factory is one of the ultimate weapons you can ride without needing a racing license. It's insane, precise, terrifying, and utterly addictive. The very definition of a modern superbike.